What is the most disgusting thing you've witnessed someone do in public? Try on shoes with dirty bare feet covered in some sort of foot fungus, then rebox and put them back on the shelf. Ordering shoes online seems much more preferable all of a sudden. Once saw a homeless man grab a pigeon, strangle it to death, and then take a bite out of its head like it was an apple. And then he left Black Sabbath. I saw a way overweight lady crap her pants and continue eating at a buffet. Go to make room for more somehow, I guess. A guy pressed his bare ass up against the glass inside of a jeweler store and diarrhea liquid crap everywhere. It was disgusting. It completely covered the glass and you could clearly see it coming out of his anus. It slowly dribbled down the glass as a security guard escorted him out. Pants at his ankles, crap at his thighs. It's a tie between. A longtime friend became a rage addict, was hanging out with me one day in Midtown Manhattan while suffering withdrawals. I was oblivious. She seemed normal for once, when she suddenly projectile vomited chunky bath on a crowded city sidewalk while screaming. I was riding the NYC subway, packed train, saw a strange motion in my peripheral vision on my right side that caught my attention. Turned and saw a man yanking at his dong like his life depended on it while staring at me. I leapt to my feet and practically flew to the other side of the car. I sat in shock for a few seconds, more embarrassed and mad. Really, I'd been told this was inevitable as a chick in NYC and was pissed that it was apparently true. Noticed that nobody was reacting in a similar manner and felt batshit for a second. I thought I'd possibly hallucinated a stranger's angry red dong because nobody was batting an eye. So I leaned over and, lo and behold, nope, he's still going at it and nobody gives a crap. Fuck, frick that guy's dong. Figuratively, not literally. There's this trend I've been seeing in men's restrooms. After they pee, these guys just go dry their hands without washing them. What the frick is on your hands that you have to dry them? I once saw a guy who finished at the urinal, walked to the sink, put his hands in the sink, then walked over to the dryers and used them for 10 seconds. At no point however did he bother turning the tap on. How much extra effort would it have taken to complete this one additional and fairly crucial step? I once saw a woman pull her pants down and take a crap in a park. It was absolutely disgusting. Sounds like must have been a little drunk. Girl pulled out a bloody tampon and threw it on the ground. This was at Lucky 2015 in Seattle. Frick's sake, didn't even put a new one in. I witnessed a mom on the bus put her mouth over her toddler's nose and suck the snot out. I had to get off the bus so I could vomit. Haha, this one is the winner. That is so nasty. 'Twas the day before Christmas. I was walking out of a Walmart in Texas when a lady projectile vomited while crossing the threshold. It was brown and I thought it was coffee until I saw the chunks. Her boyfriend asked if she was okay and she was like, yeah, I'm fine, and kept walking inside. We never went back to that Walmart. 'Twas the day before Christmas, and in the superstore, a lady was vomiting all over the floor. Leave a dirty diaper on the table for the waitress to bus at a sit-down restaurant. Years ago when I was in the army stationed in Georgia, I swung by the Popeyes that was on post to grab some of their mac and cheese. I walk in and go up to the counter like normal and say hi to the dude behind the counter who I kind of knew. Dude begins to take my order but looks behind me and off to the side in a way that very clearly was trying to subtly prompt me to look. So I do, and I see this massively obese guy, we're talking 500 plus lbs, in one of those motorized fatty carts. He's rocking an oxygen tank and an American flag shirt and is going to town loudly slurping through a straw. The fluorescent lights he's parked his cart under casting this greasy sheen against his neck folds. Thinking that the guy behind the counter just wanted to point out a gross fat guy being fat, I turned back around and make a face to indicate said grossness. The guy could tell I didn't quite get the situation, so he shook his head and leaned in across the counter towards me and lowered his voice. He's drinking gravy. My expression must have went from gross to WTF, because he continued. He comes in here all the time and gets a quart of gravy and just drinks it. I look back at the guy with an entirely new appreciation for the situation. I tried to not be too obvious about it, but it didn't seem to matter. The guy seriously looked like he was cooming in his sweatpants from the rapture of sucking down that Popeye's Cajun gravy through the straw, like it was the greatest experience of his life. totally in his own world. I doubt he noticed me looking, and even if he did, I don't think you reach the point of chugging straight gravy in front of a Popeyes counter in your mobility scooter without having long since abandoned any capacity for shame. That dude clearly gave zero fricks about anything. Needless to say, I lost my appetite. I apologized to the guy behind the counter, cancelled my order, and left without my mac and cheese. I've never been back to any Popeyes since, and I doubt I ever will. Comma looked like he was seeming in his sweatpants from the rapture. Fudgism. A stocker at Walmart, casually stocking the dairy case with his whole butt hanging out of his pants. He was a large man and had his pants almost to his knees with a very long polo that covered his ass. But every time he leaned over to put something on the shelf, his full bare bottom was exposed for all to see. I was so shocked. It wasn't just butt crack, but a full moon. That's no moon. I once witnessed an incredibly drunk lady get a huge, growing wet stain in her jeans on the train. It just kept on growing and growing. I left before she did, but I assume the seat was soaked. Just nasty. Bet your eyes were growing wider as stain was growing bigger. I was walking in SF with my ex-girlfriend and her 12-year-old sister. We were near Market Street by that big mall. Watched a fat homeless lady get up from her spot, move 4 feet closer to the road, pull up her dress moo and popped a squat, then crap diarrhea all over the ground. She then put her dress down and shuffled a few steps back to her spot to sit down. She crapped less than 5 feet away from where she was posted at. No wiping, of course. We crossed the street before reaching her. Scratch their balls before going through the produce bin at the grocery store. This, my friend, is the reason why you should wash fruit before eating. Tame compared to the rest of the thread, but I was in a business meeting once where a guy got bored and started trimming his nasal hair right in the meeting room. I was just a little stunned. I've seen a few. Working in restaurants only adds to it. Saw a girl blow 2 guys in a U-shaped booth at a bar. Wasn't discreet. Witnessed a strip dance challenge between a drunk blonde sorority girl and a 60-something-year-old homeless guy at a Waffle House at 3 AM. It was cool until she took her pants off. He followed her lid, and that's when the cops showed up. Was at a dive bar where the men's bathroom toilet's door had a huge hole in it, like someone's head got put through it. So, as I walk into the restroom, here's this dude banging some chick on top of this toilet. The Virgin Mary would have died again as she had to walk into this room. But, lust, I guess. An hour or so later, I go to use the restroom again, and through the same gaping hole in the door, what do I see? A dude doing rails of coke on the same toilet, bareback, just like the previous tenants. Was at a concert once. Managed to get to the front of the line at the gates by chance. The area the gates are was slightly uphill from the rest of the line. This chick in front of our group pulls her pants down and pops a squat. As her stream started rolling downhill like a glacial melt in the spring, the crowded line splits into 2 as if Moses were parting the Red Sea. I watched a homeless dude frick a newspaper machine. I bet he got good press. Not the most disgusting, but at least my most memorable. A special needs kid sneezed in the hallway at my elementary school, and the snot basically reached the floor. Instead of, I dunno, just pulling it off his nose, he started curling it up on his finger until he completed the task. The grossest isn't that bad, but it was the brazenness of it. This woman was pushing her baby in a stroller in the grocery store. Her M-head type boyfriend had his hand all over her, and then he put his hands in the back of her shorts and started fingering her as they walked. As they are shopping, he's alternating between fingering this woman in front of her kid and picking up and putting items in their cart with his nasty ho vagina fingers. I call him out and told them they were disgusting and needed to get the heck out of the store, and I would get their kid taken away if they didn't quit being crappy nasty people. It turned into a surprisingly long argument. She's going to get a heck of a yeast infection or BV. I saw a woman infested with head lice at Walmart, so I guess what she was doing is just being alive. It was terrible. You could see her hair moving. I ran away. Holy crap, now my head's itching from just thinking about it. And now I can't stop itching my head, because it feels like it's crawling with lice. Thanks for that. When I was in grad school, my roommate and I went for a late night McDonald's breakfast run. We're in the drive-thru line and 2 girls drunk out of their mind come walking up. One girl shouts to her friend that she has to pee, so she goes off to the side. completely removes her skirt and underwear and squats down. In full view of all the cars, she proceeds to remove a bloody tampon and then pee. Somebody from one of the cars had gone inside to let a manager know there was a half-naked girl peeing outside in the drive-thru. Manager comes out, escorts the girls inside. IDK what happened after that. Saw someone pick the thick layers of dead skin off his feet and drop them to the floor at a middle school band concert. I feel like people's dead skin cells should be left at home. I have a couple. First one is more funny than disgusting. I saw a guy having a pee on a public toilet, as in the outside wall of the building. Second one is an old nutcase eating a pizza that he was resting on the top of a public bin. It was still in the box, so not too bad. But then after he'd finished it, he cupped some water that had collected on the top of the bin and drank it. The other day I saw a homeless guy spit in a cup and then drink it. Oh, and I was also on a flight a while back and the woman next to me started cutting her fingernails, letting the trimmings fly everywhere. A homeless lady was roaming around this Korean supermarket. She was your run-off-the-mill crazy woman. Sadly, she found a victim to harass. A shopper just leaving the store kept following her, mumbling or yelling at her. When the shopper ran back to her car, crazy lady blocked her path. Woman couldn't back out of her parking spot. Then the homeless lady lifted her skirt. She wasn't wearing panties and started to poop behind the shopper's car by bending over. Cannot unsee that. I saw this from the other side of the parking lot. That poor girl's face. I'll never forget the terror. Saw a video of a girl in a mini skirt pull crap out of her butt and toss it on the ground outside a club. Like it was nothing. Just standing there with a crap hand, acting like nothing happened. I once saw a lady change her baby's diaper on a dinner table at the booth next to me, while there was food on the table as well, that she was still eating while changing the diaper. Like, take a bite, do another step in diaper change, take another bite, another step, etc. till the baby was cleaned and changed. Then she just went back to eating. No hand washing anywhere in this process. I saw an old guy in a Walmart track crap all over the floors throughout the store. While we were getting our shopping done, there was some kind of off-putting smell, but we couldn't find where it was coming from. It was only when we had paid and got a quick snack from the subway that we realized the source of the smell was the old man sitting at a table just 6 feet away from us who had crap sliding down his leg. The weirdest part about it was that, from what I saw, he didn't seem crazy or anything. He was even making small talk with the workers and security guards who walked past. I have no idea what happened to him because my mom got us out of there real fast after she realized where the smell was coming from and what the smell and brown streaks on the floor were. Does a video count? Cause I saw one of a couple freaking like rabbits in a park across from a children's playground. Yay, in subs like are trashy, you see a lot of videos like that. During college, I was in line for late night drunk pizza with some friends, and we saw a guy cut the line, reach into the trash and pull out a half-eaten pizza slice, hide it in his shirt, then proceed to buy another slice of pizza. What blew my mind was that no one else seemed to notice him. One weekend in San Francisco, I saw a homeless man who made really intense eye contact with me, like he was daring me to look away. This lasted a good 10 seconds until he looked away. I then realized he had been jerking it that whole time. It was 2 p.m. on the waterfront. It's a toss-up between whipping it out at a light rail station or emptying a urine bag at a light rail station. I was at a party and watched a girl literally stand against a wall and pee through her romper. She didn't even attempt to move her underwear romper out of the way, just full on pee. It was disgusting. I also witnessed a homeless man pull his pants down, squat, and then proceeded to crap right next to a busy intersection. This is Pajama Doggo. He can only rest if you type sleep well doggo, sleep well doggo. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day, you magnificent people.